again, good morning. It is Saturday morning and I have got chaffles going in the toaster oven. They actually toast up pretty good, so I'm actually going to put a little more cheese on top of them in a minute, and that'll be breakfast. I'm going to share it with the babby here. Some of the chaffles that I did, I've got a keto, like pancake, waffle mix stuff. Actually it's pretty good as pancakes. I actually put that in the toaster oven and then put the egg and cheese on top. It came out pretty good, so I'm reheating one of those. I haven't had it reheated yet, so we'll see. It's Saturday morning. Mama is a hot mess, so here we are. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Low Carb Wishes, Keto Dreams. Tonight is Saturday night and I am home with the babby. My husband and eldest daughter are gone to their game night. So I am basically here. Babby went to bed early, drinking an iced coffee. Figured I would eat my dinner and chit chat a little bit. Don't really know what about, but we'll figure something out. Tonight for dinner, I am probably not going to eat all of this, but I made up some chicken strips. I just pan fried them. Had a little bit of bacon grease left over from last night. And so I went ahead and just put a little bit of that in the pan. Seasoned the chicken strips up with a little bit of Tony's Cajun seasoning and garlic powder, and heated up the leftover of the baked spaghetti from last night, the one with the palm noodles. And then I've got some cheesy broccoli here that once I pulled the chicken out, I tossed it in the pan with the leftover grease from the chicken and the bacon. Put a little more Tony's in there and tossed everybody together. I had some blue cheese crumbles, threw in the pan and sort of let them get a little melty, along with just a pinch of the Monterey Jack cheese that I had with the stuff from last night. So the dipping sauce is a homemade ranch dressing. It's not really homemade, it's Hidden Valley, they're packets though. And what brand? Oh, it's Sweet Baby Ray's buffalo wing sauce. So that is dinner tonight. I think it looks pretty tasty. The broccoli is awesome. I tasted some of that a little earlier. Really good. So I figured it's a good excuse to go ahead and eat up the leftover spaghetti. I'm hoping to get these videos out now that we're moved in and things are settling down. Autumn's back in school. The last real fight we have, sitting under it right now, is we have skylights in our trailer and one of them in particular is leaking. I don't know. I've gotten to the point, they've come out like 4 or 5 times now to fix it, and I'm basically at the point now where I'm like, just take the skylight out, patch the roof, shingle over it, stick a fork in me. I am done fighting with this stupid roof. So I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to come out and basically rip the whole thing out. The other one I don't think is leaking. The other one I think is okay. It was leaking at one point, but then it seems to have they fixed it, and I think they actually fixed it. So that's good. But things are starting to slow down and get a little more normal now. So I would like to really really put out a lot of videos. If I can, maybe 3 a week, that would be awesome. We don't, the normal things that people do for these sorts of things, like meal prep, and we just don't do. We don't meal prep. I cook every night. Being home with the baby, I have time to cook every night. So, and usually if my husband takes leftovers into work, it's leftovers from the night before. So it's not really anything that's cooked way far in advance. I would like, and I know I mentioned it last year, but things were so crazy last year. I don't know, life is crazy. I'd like to put together a video or two with some like low carb lunch ideas. No, my daughter's not keto, but we have tried to limit her sugar intake because of her OCD and things. She does tend to get a little weird. But since she graduated the Rogers program, things have been so much better. But the concern is that now starting school, increased stress, may trigger kind of like a little bit of a relapse in symptoms. So, when they go to game night, I'm sure she loads up on sugar. So, gets cookies and things. I don't have any control over that. What are you going to do? So, that may be a few videos. I can tell you right now, girl loves tomatoes. Like, she eats them like grapes. Like I get the little cherry tomatoes for her lunch, and she literally does. She eats them like grapes. Like, I'll put a handful of them in her lunch with some sliced cucumbers. That's like a staple in her lunchbox. I mean, the lunches they serve at school are crap. I mean, let's just face it. It's like cardboard-based pizza. If it's anything like the school lunches I remember, and I'm sure they are, they're just awful. So, I do try to make her lunch. I know that they have like little carts and stuff. Like, my school had carts. I would always they had these huge cinnamon rolls they would sell at my school in high school. And they were like $1 or $1.50. And so that's what I would get like every day, was this massive cinnamon roll. My pancreas really appreciated that, I'm sure. So, yeah. Try to keep that under control. My Babby's not low carb, but since I don't eat a lot of carbs during the day anyway, she kind of is. But she's growing like a weed, so I ain't worried about it. If I have bread or something at home, I might make her like a peanut butter sandwich. Something, finger foods, cut it up into little pieces. So, yeah, I'd like to do a few videos with like lunch ideas. I definitely want to do some more cooking videos. I would love to do product reviews, but unless it's a product that I actually use regularly, I honestly can't afford to go out and buy products to review or things like. So, I mean, You know, unless something gets sent to me or I got a coupon, something. It ain't happening. Now, the palmini noodles, or the heavenly something, I don't remember the name, the ones I showed in yesterday's video, they're good. I like those. Those are going to be a regular staple. I am always thought that was baby. That was not baby. I am always looking for other vegetables to use. I get so sick. I don't really get sick of it, don't get me wrong. I love broccoli. I love cauliflower. And let's face it, in low carb, they are a staple. But I do get tired of them sometimes. Like, I want something else. So, like, the palmini noodles, that is awesome. I mean, honestly, I feel like I'm eating spaghetti. I really do. And they're filling and lots of good fiber in them. So, anyway, I can put different veggies in my diet. Is always a good thing. Any suggestions? Any suggestions for other veggies are always welcome. I'm not a crazy squash fan. Like, I'll eat zucchini and I'll eat summer squash. I think I like like the yellow crooked neck squash better than zucchini, but I'm just not like a crazy fan. Now, I've had the Mexican one that's starts with CH. I want to say choya, but that's the cactus, I think, that's all prickly. Chayote? I could be horribly. I'm probably saying a Spanish curse word, honestly. They're funny little like green apple looking squash. Those are pretty good. I've had those, and I've seen recipes where people sort of use them in place of like apples in recipes. I don't know how that works, but I've seen it done. Their texture's different than a regular squash, and I'm not even sure if it's actually a squash, but that's what they call it. So I don't know. And I always forget about asparagus. I love asparagus. I know Mark and Autumn don't like it. But I love asparagus. My mom always did it with just like lemon butter. And it was always so good. So I gotta remember to put that in my repertoire of veggies. So yeah, I definitely want to get a multitude of videos out. I'm trying to come up with ideas, like one video I want to do in the future, and I'm not sure if I mentioned it before, is talking about a food additive. It's a thickener that they use in just about everything. I've seen it in yogurts and cottage cheese and cream cheeses and dairy products. It's in like almost every heavy cream you'll see. And it's it comes from a seaweed. It's called carrageenan, and I want to do an in-depth video on why this product is so bad. I have psoriasis, which does not have anything to do with your liver. First time I told my husband that, he was like, "That's your liver, right?" I was like, "No, honey, that's cirrhosis, not psoriasis." So it's, I don't even think they really know what causes it, but they suspect that it's autoimmune, and it's an inflammatory response to something. Some magical thing. I was attacked by a unicorn, and I guess that's how it happened. But things like carrageenan, and when I eat high carb stuff, causes that to flare up and become an issue. So I know I'm going to do a video on that. Why is it such a horrible thing? And, why, if we know these things are inflammatory, are we putting them in our food? It just seems crazy to me. So yeah, that's going to be a video in the future. Fall is coming up. Yay! Pumpkin spice everything. Oh my gosh. Probably not too crazy with the pumpkin spice. I wouldn't mind trying some of the apple I tried my sausage. Apple alternatives, like doing something with jicama is a good apple alternative, especially if you're doing it like raw. It's very crunchy and slightly sweet like an apple. Its nickname is actually apple potato, because it sort of has the texture of a raw potato, only not starchy, but the flavor of an apple. It's sort of like slightly sweet. If you've never had jicama before. And the squash that I can't remember the name, and I'm probably saying a Spanish curse word. That one I've seen used as an alternative. I've also seen zucchini used as an alternative, but that kind of turns me off because, again, I'm not particularly crazy about zucchini, so the idea of turning it into a fake something else sort of bothers me. So, yeah, so I mean, maybe do something that's like apple, pumpkin, obviously. And then Christmas is coming up. I don't know if I posted them last year. I don't think I did. I tried making some Christmas cookies, just like not shortbread, but like a sugar cookie. I didn't like the way it came out. I was not thrilled with that one. So, one of my favorite cookies, though, at Christmas time, there's a little German cookie called a Pfeffernuss cookie. Maybe Pfeffernuss? And they are an anise flavored cookie. You don't know what anise is, it's sort of a licorice-y flavor. It's not like crazy heavy flavor. Well, you can make it that way, but it doesn't have to be. But they're rolled into little balls and then they're dusted with powdered sugar. And I think they're sort of cakey in the center. So I think it would lend itself well to almond flour. And I'm going to give that a try this year. Let's see, we've got Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's always a time that is a hard time. And the fact that I picked this up again, getting settled down in the last half of the year, and then the last half of the year is all holidays. Yay! Last year I did pretty good until, I want to say I cheated on Christmas Eve. I think I did. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, I had cookies. I did good through Thanksgiving, but my mom does this whole spread at Christmas, where it's not Christmas, it's Christmas Eve. She has this whole spread at Christmas Eve. It's sort of an open house where she opens her house to the neighborhood and the neighbors come by. She's got cake and little, the little Swedish meatball, not Swedish meatballs, this is sweet. The chili meatballs, not Swedish meatballs. The chili meatballs, and then the little weenies that are in the barbecue sauce, and just like this whole spread of stuff. And we've made a billion Christmas cookies, so those are all out. We'll bring cake, and it's just, it's a keto person's nightmare, basically. Like their worst possible nightmare. And so I don't think I've ever made it through Christmas not indulging in cookies and things. So, I'm hoping this year that I can make it. New Year's, we always eat Hoppin' Johns. And if you don't know what the tradition is with that, is black-eyed peas on New Year's are good luck. And this is a recipe. The idea is you're sort of using up leftovers. The black-eyed peas are for luck, but it's got rice and ham and cheese and bell pepper and onions, and you're sort of using up the stuff you had at Christmas. So your ham and stuff at Christmas time, and then you dump it all in for this recipe at New Year's. But it's black-eyed peas, so it's supposed to be for luck. But I actually made a recipe of it a couple years ago. Pretty sure I didn't record it. I might have taken a picture and put it on Instagram, but I replaced the rice with cauli rice and tweaked the recipe a little bit, and I swear, I am not one to say this, but it tasted like the real thing. It was really good, and I didn't go heavy on the black-eyed peas. I did back off a little bit on those because they're a pea, they're like a bean, so they're carby. But they ended up being really, really good. So I will probably do that. I'll probably film that and show how to make that. But that is a ways down the road. As for the next month or so, now that Autumn's back in school, I loved having her here, but I'm happy that she's back in school. She gets to hang out with people her own age again. And I honestly don't think of school as a place where you socialize. I mean, you socialize, but it's not a place, I don't think of it as a place to send your kid to socialize. The fact of the matter is I think school's probably one of the only places that you're ever going to be crammed into a situation where you're stuck with people all your own age. Once you get out of school, you got to deal with a variety of people. So I don't really feel like that's, when people talk against homeschooling, that's like the big thing. How will your child socialize? Well, we don't live under a rock, But I am happy that she's back with friends. And she actually, her first day of school, she ran into 2 people she knew from middle school. So that is awesome. So she's not all alone wandering the halls of her high school. She does struggle with grasping social situations sometimes. She was sort of being snarky in class and mentioned something. The teacher was talking about how I don't want phones out in class. And Autumn's like, yeah, but like 20 people have their phones. Like everybody's got their phones out. And everybody in the class was like, shh, don't say anything. I was like, girl, you just need to keep your mouth shut, keep your head down. Don't put a beacon on yourself in that sense. So, this coming week will be the first full week of school. And I think she'll settle into a rhythm. I told her, I am not riding your butt this year. You are 15 years old. You're going to have to do your own work. I'm not sitting there monitoring you. You are on your own, kid. So, we'll see how that works out. I might go ahead. I've definitely jumped on the chaffle bandwagon. Like I said before, it's not a new recipe by any stretch of the imagination. It's been around forever, but it's sort of picking up again. I don't know how I missed. Oh, I know how I missed it, but I mean, I just have been so out of touch lately with just about everything that I haven't been on Instagram. I haven't done anything like I normally would. So, hopefully I'll be picking all that up again. I have a blog, but again, I don't think I've posted anything in over a year. I mean, it's mostly recipes anyway, so I don't generally do live stuff. This is probably where I do my live stuff at. So, we'll see how that goes. But I may do a couple chaffle recipes. I mean, it's such a stupid, simple thing to do, but I might zhuzh it up a little bit, maybe throw something extra in it. Make it fancy. I was really craving chicken strips. My husband got me some a couple weeks ago, or no, it was Wednesday. Well, of course, they weren't exactly keto friendly. They had a little bit of breading on them. But I've been craving these suckers so bad. So I figured tonight I'd go ahead and make some for myself. Since the other members of my family are gone. I don't know what they're going to do. Used to, they'd go out on Wednesdays, too. Hearing weird things outside. Used to, they'd go out on Wednesdays, too, but anyway, used to they go out on Wednesdays too, but now with them being back in school, they're not going to be able to do that. But I don't know if my husband's going to continue doing it. Wouldn't mind it if he did. I think he'd enjoy it. But he does end up out pretty late if he's got to work the next day. That sucks. So, any veggie suggestions? Jumping back to my vegetables. Any veggie suggestions would be much appreciated. I'm always looking for something. But there's such a great multitude of things you can do with broccoli and cauliflower. There really is no reason to get tired of them, per se. But sometimes you just want something different. You don't want the same old thing. So, I am definitely excited about the palmini noodles and the heavenly something. Heavenly, I don't think it was heavenly pasta. It might have been. But they are really good. I would say they're better tonight than they were last night. Like, they've really sort of absorbed the flavors that they've sat in. And if it weren't for the fact that the texture is just a little different, I don't think you'd notice the difference. Like, I think if you took, like, if you had family that you were trying to slip in a little more veg into their diet, if you did something like this where you sort of chop the noodles up short, like the spaghetti and these guys, and mixed them all together and made a like a baked spaghetti dish like I did, I don't think they'd know, really, like, for real. If they didn't suspect something was going to be in there, they wouldn't know. Yeah, these are better the next day, even. I mean, let's face it, most Italian food is better the next day. But this was really good. So, I'm going to go ahead and finish off the spaghetti. I'm going to pack everybody else up into a box and maybe save it for tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see you tomorrow, Sunday. I know we are church bound tomorrow. My daughter's got a youth night coming up pretty soon, and they are doing they're doing a Stranger Things themed like party, like a welcome back sort of party. I think it's the beginning of next month. And we actually just finished the first season of Stranger Things. Like, we hadn't watched it before this. Like, she had mentioned it, and I was like, yeah, we probably ought to watch it. And then I'd see a commercial or something for it. And I'm like, yeah, we probably ought to watch it. And so we watched like 4 episodes a couple of weeks ago. And then we watched the last 4 last night. And it's good. I see what the hype is all about. So far, it's been really good. I don't think we'll do it tonight, but I think maybe tomorrow we'll start watching maybe a couple of the second season. But yeah, so no spoilers. So yeah, it was good. And, of course, even though it's completed this season, there are still cliffhangers because some things were left open-ended, so we will get into all of that. We keep calling the creature the Cookie Gorgon because Sesame Street did parodies, like they parody movies and TV shows, and they did a parody on it with Cookie Monster, and he was the Cookie Gorgon, and he had these big petal things that opened up around, and of course it was the Ghostbuster Halloween costumes that everybody was dressed in, and Ernie and Grover and all of those, and it was pretty funny. So I keep calling it the Cookie Gorgon. My husband apparently has not seen this parody, so he has no idea what I'm talking about. So we are, we're going to see what happened with the cookie garden. So I am done with the spaghetti. And I'm actually going to go pack the rest of this up in a box. And I will probably eat that tomorrow after church. Move my table over. Thanks for sitting and eating with me. And if I can find the, there it is. Okay, remote for my couch. Thanks for sitting and eating with me. And we will talk to you guys later. Bye.